What is the most spoiled behavior you've ever witnessed? A few years ago, I was waiting with my daughter for her to have an MRI scan. She had been in a lot of pain with her upper back and neck, and so we were worried. After 40 minutes or so after our scheduled appointment time, we still hadn't been seen. I went to ask if they'd forgotten my daughter somehow, but the receptionist explained that a patient had been taken very ill in the scanner and doctors had been called to attend to them. Knowing what had happened, we said, "Okay, no problem. We'll wait. Hope the person's okay." After another 10 minutes or so, this lady of around 30 came in and went up to the receptionist. She was dressed from head to toe in designer clothes and had a handbag worth way more than our car. She carried herself as though she thought she was very important and strutted up to the check-in desk. Her appointment time was after hours and she was now about 5 minutes over. She was already furious about being kept waiting at all, and when the receptionist told her how late they were running, she was furious. The receptionist patiently explained about the emergency and it being unavoidable. She offered her tea and even chance to reschedule, but the woman was not to be reasoned with and she went nuclear. She said she didn't care what the problem was and demanded to be taken in right now. She was told again that unfortunately this just wasn't possible now. Spitting bullets, the woman then announced that she was going to count to 20 and she had better have been taken in. But then obviously there was no way that was going to happen as my daughter's appointment was before hers and crucially, the scanner still wasn't free. But she was true to her word and began slowly and very loudly counting to 20. Everyone was staring. She made herself look like an absolute idiot. Finally she got to 20. Unsurprisingly, nothing happened. The receptionist said nothing in. This petulant woman literally stamped her foot in rage. It was such a dense atmosphere you could have cut the air with a knife. Then my daughter said, "Well, that was an anticlimax." We heard a few giggles and snickers from around the waiting area before the entitled lady found a seat somewhere and sat down like an angry child. Then my daughter was called to get changed and as we got up, the receptionist approached the petulant woman to ask her for her patient history form as well as how she'll be paying after all that showing off. It turned out that the woman hadn't called the insurance company to authorize her scan and had to go and phone them, so she wouldn't have been ready to go in for her scan anyway. We could hear her on the phone shouting at these poor customer service employees on the line as if it was their fault she hadn't arranged anything in time. Luckily, once my daughter's scan was finished and we went to leave, this spoiled woman was nowhere to be found.